I've been noticed of this meeting being held this fifth day of February 2026 at 7:30 p.m. has been provided in accordance with section 3D of chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975, commonly known as the Sunshine Law. Please rise for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I ask for you to remain standing for a moment of silence for the Chief Minister, Flag Guard and Fire. Thank you. Okay. The motion open for public comment on the agenda.
I make that motion.
Second. On favor?
Aye.
On the agenda itself. Motion closed.
Motion closed.
Okay. On favor?
We are going to roll.
Oh, yes. All closed. Motion closed.
Motion.
Back there. Aye. Aye. And now roll call.
Muir,
Here.
Nelson, here, Lindsay,
Here.
Cotton,
Here.
Coletti,
Here.
O'Brien,
Here.
Decker,
Here.
Mooney, here, thank
A motion to adopt the regular session minutes of December 18th, 2025. No executive session was held.
you. We'll make a motion to adopt those minutes.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Abstentions? Good.
Oh, Steve?
Yeah. Yeah, one abstention. Now we want to adopt regular session minutes of January 15th, 2026. No executive session held.
I will make a motion to adopt those minutes.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
I must adopt resolution 2026.24, establishing a policy for a health savings account contributions and compensation.
I will make a motion to adopt that resolution.
Second. All in favor? Aye. The motion to adopt resolution 2026.25, cancellation of the tax and refund of overpayment for totally disabled veterans exemption.
I make a motion to adopt that resolution.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adopt resolution 2026.26, professional services under the fair and open process for planning board professional.
I make a motion to adopt that resolution for the planning board.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adopt resolution 2026.27, authorizing agreement with community animal control for animal control services.
I make a motion to adopt that agreement.
Second. Favor?
Aye.
I have a motion to pay all bills in the amount of $3,025,850. This is the first time we've crested $3 million. We'll share $1,404,248 is for our local board of education. $702,068 is for our North Hunter and Voorhees regional high school district, and $632,172 are for county taxes. The additional $63,158 for county library taxes and $61,421 for county open space. The majority going towards the schools.
I make a motion to pay the bills in that amount.
I will second. Can I have a roll call, please?
Coletti,
Yes.
Cotton,
Yes.
Lindsay,
Yes.
Nelson. Yep. Muir.
Yes. Thank you. Report of municipal engineer.
Good evening. A few things. We've managed to clean up several of our DOT funded projects with DOT. We've gotten paid for a few of them recently
Yes.
that have closed out. The only two I think we have left is one of the Fox Farm projects and last year's Hickory Ridge. With regards to Hickory Ridge Section 2, which is funding that we were approved for back in November. We have already started putting together those plans. We can get them with the DOT and get those approved so that hopefully we can do those when school is out in the summertime. So those are in progress. Over at the park, the fitness court, we are wrapping up the T-Mobile grant. I know Alex from my office putting it in, so we're wrapping that up so we can get it in. We've also obtained a quote from the same contractor that is doing pickleball, because they're adjacent and they're also through the educational co-op. So they gave us a price for doing the slab. In the process of doing that, they said, hey, you've also installed all this the fitness court, so we're gonna get hopefully to do that as well.
Nice.
And then we can see what our most cost effective avenue is. But if we can get the same contractor to do both, then he can do them both at the same time, and we don't have contractors point fingers each. NJDEP, our favorite agency. We wrapped up the MS4 phase 1, got all that submitted before the end of last year. I know, Chris, I think we sent you information on that, and Irene may have reported on that at the last meeting. We're gearing up for phase 2 of that program, which is more getting into the, the water quality treatments and identifying pollutant loading and so forth. I know we had a presentation at the last meeting, had Irene sit on that, because she's been kind of spearheading that for the fund, so it made more sense for her to do that. And I know we have another presentation, I believe at the planning board, Monday, or the planning board meeting.
There's the stormwater, training video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're getting that going. Phase 2 is due at the end of the year. That's due December 31st. And then last week or the week before, DEP passed new stormwater rules. It's called the REAL rules. Stands for the Resilient Environment and Landscaping That will result in changes once again to the stormwater management work. So that's completely separate from the MS4 program. We haven't completely comprehended everything that's in that. We'll have more direction. We're meeting on that in our office on Tuesday to go over better handle, but it will result in ordinance changes for the township ordinance. Has a lot to do with floodplains and elevation raising, stuff like that. So that's all that I had, unless there's any other questions.
Any questions from the committee?
Just to double check, Jen, you said the fitness support equipment is being delivered at the end of the month.
Yeah, I believe that's going to the DPW yard.
It is.
Is everybody, I don't think we have any matters for executive session for you, so you're welcome to commission. All right, so we make a motion to open the public.
I'll make a motion to open the public.
Do a second? Second. Favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Susan Wiley, 424 Charlestown Road. So, the MS4 deliverables that were due in 2025, I think there were 3. Let me just get my list.
Sure.
Just make sure that on the next page. Sorry. I think it was the street sweeping program, the MS4 stormwater mapping, and the WIP phase 1.
Yes. So the stormwater mapping was also part of the WIP phase 1. Okay, so all the mapping had been done. Actually, DPW did a good chunk of that themselves using the DEP app. They located a lot of structures. Our firm came in, picked up what was missing. We had to connect the inlets with piping. That's all been mapped by GPS in the GIS system. That was incorporated into the watershed improvement plan, phase 1, which identified there's a series of maps and so forth that, show different drainage areas, demographics and so forth in the township. And then I'm glad you brought up the street sweeping, because I did forget to talk about that. We have been in communication with Jeff Lee, the DPW super, and there is a street sweeping schedule that we've established with Jeff for the year, with the quarterly sweepings and the annual sweeping. And it actually did not work out to be as many roads and as much as we had originally thought. So, which is good, and I believe Jeff already has some quotes on having someone come in and do the sweeping, and also disposal costs, but I think at Oxford. And so, yes, I'm actually glad you brought it up, because I forgot to write that down.
Okay,
Okay.
I thought I remembered that you guys were gonna try to coordinate with local other towns, so one town didn't have to spend everything, because it's the same equipment, right?
And same equipment, I think the sweeping service is used by one of the other towns, which is how I think Jeff
Yeah, we anticipate the way it was first, I say, presented, is that all roads had to be under the street sweep, but then there were a lot of exemptions to that, whether like if a road is tar chipped, which almost all of our roads are, they're not subject to street sweeping. If there's no curbing, they're not subject to street sweeping.
Yeah, if there's no inlets, you know, there were certain things, which is good because street sweeping makes sense in a lot of situations.
Right.
Out in rural Hunter County, it's kind of tough because you could sweep a road in one day and you get a
Right.
windstorm and, you know, everything you did is for naught.
Yeah, so the towns, we were gonna put together some sort of shared
Right.
service, purchase one street sweeper, and then the county, Hunter County actually was thinking about putting together some sort of authority with a street sweeper, but since the majority of the towns, it's not gonna change what we are, we've been street sweeping, we street sweep already, we have been for the
What do
past-
you use?
I'm sorry,
What do you use?
it's a rented service, so usually
Oh,
twice a year.
I see. So you're not, so it's already something.
It's already something we've been doing, it doesn't change, the rules actually don't change much of what we do, it's just my.
Just the frequency that it has to be done and what roads are mandated to be done.
It's actually a bigger change for the contractor, if there's no additional charge, they have to get rid of this, the sweepings anyway.
Mm.
But now they have to give us the tonnage reports of whatever they have.
But the documentation for how you're doing it, let's just do the street sweeping is,
So there's an annual report, you'll hear me talk about it probably in May.
but I thought they also maybe I'm wrong, requiring a plan to show what you're gonna be doing.
Well, the plan is basically a written plan. It's-
Yeah, right.
And we had that, which.
Can that be put on the stormwater page?
So why not, we can share that.
Yeah,
It's more of a tool for, we didn't have to submit that to DEP for approval or anything.
mm,
The requirement is that there has to be
report.
a street sweeping program in place in
Right.
2026, and it has to be implemented. So that's what we've done, and we also we put together a reporting booklet for DPW.
Mm.
Just because, for example, things like street sweeping, we're supposed to report how many tons were
Mhm.
collected each quarter, supposed to know what inlets were repaired, inspected and so forth. They have to keep a catalog of that. And then we report once a year that we've done everything to
Right.
comply. And they do and have this past year, they'll come in and they'll audit our
Mm.
books. And I can say for Bethlehem, they came in, basically DPW said, here's our binder. They flipped through it and said, you guys are in really good shape
Okay.
compared to others.
Yeah, if that program, just because I'm very curious of how it's done and stuff like that. I'm kind of comparing with other towns, just to get an idea of how towns are handling it. If that's okay. And then the other two, the stormwater mapping and the WIP, I think Irene said that once, or you, Mayor did maybe, that once the DEP looks at it and approves it, that can be posted on the website?
Yeah, right now, the deadline was to get it to DEP.
Right.
They have to review it.
So they haven't.
They're gonna have comments. We've already gotten some minor comments, not from Bethlehem, but we're starting to get them in other towns.
Mm,
Okay, so once we have those, we address them and DEP is satisfied, then certainly we can,
Okay.
that's something that, it's a finished document. I wouldn't want to put a draft out there.
That's fine,
Yeah.
that is fine. I know this sounds, I'm certainly not gonna be able to look at all the data, but like all the inlet mapping, I know my sister was telling me their town missed the inlet right by her house. So it'd be interesting to just kind of spot check to see,
We think we got them all.
yeah, but
you know,
exactly,
There's always that one that eludes us.
exactly,
And it's only the only inlets that we had to map
on township roads,
are municipal
Right.
roads. So anything on the county had to map.
right?
Any private, on commercial or residential, those were not. It's kind of strange because when you look at because we have to come up with drainage areas that go to each.
Exactly.
Drainage area. And when you look at it, in Bethlehem, there's only very small drainage areas studied because the rest of it either drains directly into a stream or it drains into a county road, which we didn't have to map. So I'm hoping that the county and everything, they eventually kind of meld all this stuff together.
So does the county have to do a stormwater website too? So,
Well, I don't know if they have to do the website, probably probably, but they were subject to the same.
Because what should be the difference, right? I mean, it's the same,
They
should be required,
So we're probably more in compliance than most municipalities.
really? Oh,
Yes, there are still some towns that have not submitted.
At all.
Their phase one. There are towns that are still in litigation with
Ah.
the state over
To
the.
say, I don't wanna
elevation
have to
from
do it.
Tier B to Tier A.
got it.
One of those we represent, we
Mm,
just started representing it, our guidance has been, yeah, good luck.
do it.
Um,
Well, I appreciate that you're proactive. Again, I'm bringing up my sister, who apparently the engineer is not as proactive, so I appreciate it.
you know, we've been trying to keep everything.
And I know you missed the presentation, Kathy Hale gave, but I'm assuming
Irene did, and Irene is my go-to person on the MS4 stuff. She
Okay.
co-authored majority of the report that we submitted.
yeah, because apparently there can be, grant monies if we regionalize, kind of work with Lebanon, I think it was Lebanon and Union, and I think for Krista, she was waiting for your signature on her plan, if I'm remembering correctly. Not the plan, but I don't remember what she called it, but she was waiting for your signature. Yes. Okay, very good. Okay, that was it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other public comment related to engineering? Motion to close?
Make a motion to close?
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Without your excuse for the rest of the meeting. Thank you. Have a great night.
Stay warm this weekend.
It's nice Saturday. We have a report of public safety officials. We have lots of public safety officials. You're here for other presentations. Lots of state police with us this evening. But I will say we do leave this as a standing report on our agenda. So for the rescue and fire agencies that are here, you're always welcome to come to any of our meetings in the future, not just this meeting, to come share anything, information, requests, whatever it may be. That's a standing portion of our agenda every single meeting, so you're welcome to join us for that. With that, we quickly go into our visitors, the report of our volunteer fire and rescue companies. Appreciate that you take the time to come out and do this each year, especially with all the other requirements and things that you must face. But we hope that it's productive for us as well, because we each year have discussions about how we can support, what we can do, and help partner on some of the challenges that is really not just your challenges, but it's our challenges as well. So thank you for being here. So I'm gonna just go through, I think they're actually in alphabetical order on the agenda here, but we'll start with Will's Grails.
Actually, Mayor, if you mind, if you were to have all 5 companies, then you can go through one by one.
Yeah, sure.
So good evening, Mayor, Committee, Rob Walton, Hampton Fire Company Chief. For the moment, speaking on behalf of all 5 companies. First, we just want to say how appreciative we are of the donations that you give us, especially the increase we received last year. However, we are asking for a change in the allocation to the 5 fire companies. Last year, you rearranged the allocation to fit with the agreement we made several years ago. We'd like you to return to the 2024 numbers, take the increase of 2025 and split it evenly amongst all 5 companies. We've been working very well together as a group of 5 fire companies. We've increased our mutual aid cooperation with each other. We drill together, we meet regularly, and we just think that giving this last year's increase and any future increase equally to all 5 companies would be the best way for us to share a very generous donation of Bethlehem Township. I have a letter to that effect as well. Also last year, you very generously allocated a capital appropriation for emergency services. We have a request for that 2025 funding. We'd like a forcible entry door prop. This is a doorway that's on wheels that allows you to break it and enter as if you were entering a commercial structure, a residential structure with a locked door. And it lets the firefighters practice on this prop. So that way, if we ever have it in the real world, we know what we're doing and we're rehearsed in that function. So I have letters to that effect that I'll leave with the clerk for your consideration. And for the Hampton Fire Company, we ran about 40 calls in Bethlehem Township last year. At the one large structured fire, which I reported to the committee at the end of last year, Um, Other than that, the big highlight for us in 2026 will be the arrival of our new mini pumper. This is a smaller fire engine that we bought specifically for Bethlehem Township for these narrow, tight driveways that we experienced in the good part of the township, to be able to access and get up to the house more easily than we could with our normal fire engine. It'll also carry our vehicle rescue tools, so it'll help us on Route 31. We run calls there, and it's going to replace the rescue truck, which we purchased several years ago. That rescue truck is a good 25 years old, well past its useful service, and this mini pumper will fit nicely in our fleet. And with that, I'll answer any questions you might have for Hampton or the 5 companies.
Perfect.
Okay.
Those just give these hard conditions.
Yeah, we're going to continue to work together this year. We have the house drill that we're going to be doing at your home, or not your home, but your house you own, not your home now. We also are going to do another live burn as we did this past year. We'll do another live burn in the fall, and we'll do another vehicle extrication drill as 5 companies again this spring.
Do you know what you're gonna be doing the test on the house?
We've talked about March, trying to get before it gets too hot and also not in this kind of freezing cold. We'll see what the thawing does for the snow. That'll be a big factor as well. But yeah, as soon as we can, when the weather turns nice.
Yeah, it's starting to look a little rough,
Yes.
that house. Okay.
All right, thank you very much. Yes.
I don't know if any changes from 24 to 25 in the leadership and all, but you just guys send me the updated contact chief, deputy chief, whatever, for EOPs for the new year.
Okay.
For all 5 departments. If I can change that, then yeah, EOPs, we appreciate it.
Okay, we'll do.
Thank you,
All
sir.
right, you got it.
Are you representing all 5 or they?
I mean, want to say we'll do on behalf of themselves or their companies, but we have the
Okay.
letters here.
I'll leave it to you. If any chiefs would like to share anything.
Go.
Good evening all, Mike Sosky, Chief of Patton Fire. Nice to see everybody again. Last year we had a total of 92 incidents we responded to in Bethlehem Township. We gave 856 times and received at 31. So like we said, we're all leaning upon each other a little more as time goes on with manpower status and stuff like that. As Rob alluded to, we're working better together now than, we haven't in prior years, and we're going to continue on that. Some big stuff for us coming up. We have a 22-year-old fire engine that we're probably going to look to refurbish instead of replace, because you can have a fairly substantial savings. The bigger trucks have not per NFPA recommendations, but in real life situations, they last a little longer. So Rob's truck is 20+ years old also, but it's a smaller GVW vehicle. So his won't handle the age as well as a full-size engine will. So that's going to be our probably large outlay in the next year or two. So, and then as Rob alluded to also, thank you for the increases. It's definitely appreciated with the, as fast as the fire service costs are skyrocketing. They're just, as you probably saw, congressional hearings about the cost of fire apparatus. So it's been recognized at a high level. So hopefully that changes itself soon. So once again, thank you for your support through the years.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you want copies of the reports of, that's my yearly?
Yeah, if you give it to. Thank you.
I'm Joe Starcher. I'm the Deputy Chief of the Gardner Fire Company. We responded to 41 incidents in Bethlehem Township last year. We averaged about 9 firefighters per call. We hosted numerous fundraisers to support the past Chief Migliaccio. Fortunately, he passed away earlier this week. But throughout all the Bethlehem Township companies were always involved. It wasn't just like us on our own. They were all involved every single time. We replaced our 1982 engine with a 1991 engine, so it's 9 years newer. And last year we also got 5 new firefighters.
There's another 5 new firefighters. Give our deepest condolences.
Thank you.
I share the honor to work with Chief Migliaccio, and it's great. Just dedicated service to Bethlehem Township, but he put in quite the fight. So I'm sorry.
Thank you very much.
Good evening, Tom Shaver, Chief Franklin Fire Department. Thank you for your continued support. This year, we currently have 2 members enrolled into firefighter 1 and 2 through Warren County Fire Academy. We look forward to working with all Bethlehem Township fire departments again every year with training, drills, calls, events. We plan to hold a few community service fundraisers, the touch a truck we do every year in the fall in Asbury, couple fundraisers, our car show. And we hope to do a fisherman's breakfast in the spring this year in Asbury. Hopefully, we could get this going up and going and be a great success for us. And thank you. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate your dedication. We should watch you start off and now to be chief, so congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service in your role. We're on to rescue squads.
Tom Lasney, Pattenberg Rescue Squad. I brought some information, some data for you guys. If I get a little loud, I'm not trying to yell, I'm trying to state some facts. Appreciate your donations that you've given us and increases. Last year, we responded to 266 calls. 64 of the 75 motor vehicle accidents were on the highway. With that being said, we don't hard bill the towns. And just Bethlehem Township's uncollectibles last year were 57,000. Okay, so the ones that were on the highway, they were being already taken into collection and stuff like that.
That doesn't include the car crash, you said.
Correct. Anything that's in a car crash on a highway, they already get hard billed automatically. These are just people that we took from the township to the hospital. And we've sent them whatever their insurance is paid. This is the balance that's left over. So we send them 3 letters, and after that, because it doesn't get, notified or not for any credit report, people just sort of let it go offhand. So that was kind of a staggering number. That was just last year alone for the township. We did replace our 2003. It's in the process right now. Ambulance. It's getting refurbished. We're getting. It's going to save us about 125,000. Another output is we had to get the CAD system for the county the upgrade. So now we're all getting tough books or iPads. So for our 4 rigs was $10,000 for that. We did get a grant for part of it, but that's still money out of our pocket as well. We rely heavily on 36 for any of their technical task force stuff, the heavy rescue, anything like that. So, any kind of funding that can increase for both of us would be greatly appreciated. Don't take this the wrong way. It's all the towns. I've been here for 7 years now, and not one person except for you, Mayor, and one other from Union Township has reached out to us during any snowstorms, anything they can do. Has stopped by our building, what's going on. We come to the Easter egg hunts. We don't mind it. But I'm just telling you, some of our members, the town people, all the towns that we cover, thanks for your service. Don't care. You move on. They're more worried about, is the road gonna be opened up? We got no power and stuff like that. Some of these agencies are 1 or 2 people away from getting hurt or being done, walking away. And it's sad, it's gonna be like that. It's just, for us, we still like doing the community day, we still like doing Easter egg hunts, we still like getting the selfies and stuff like that. But, it's only 1 or 2 from all the townships that show, hey, what can we do? Is there anything, come see what we're going through. Actually come and see what's going on. I know there's the sunshine laws and stuff like that, but either individually or as a group say, hey, we got a Monday, let's go meet. We'd like to see what's going on. So, we are in the process now. Also, we got to get glucometers, we're getting certified for that. So we want to do blood sugars and stuff like that. So we had to get some paperwork and stuff like that done. So that's gonna be another little bit of expense. But overall, that's what's going on with us at Pattenberg. We try to do our monthly drills and stuff like that, and nothing on leadership has changed. I do all of our stuff is sent for the. And I'll bring here's all of our stuff, great.
But Thank you, yours is, very comprehensive report, so appreciate it.
Yeah, it's right there, so.
Appreciate that. Thank you for your continued dedication and service.
No problem.
Thank you.
Good evening, Frank Satnicki, Chief of South Branch Emergency Services. We cover the Hampton, Glen Gardner side of Bethlehem Township. We had a total of 4,340 calls last year, 127 in Bethlehem Township was about 3.5%. I gave you a lot of information. I'm obviously not gonna just read this. You guys can read at your leisure if you want. One of the things we're looking at, as you'll see in our distribution of calls and how many crews we need at a time. We hired an analytic company that does predictive calls and where they'll be and that kind of thing. So they look at 5 years worth of information. And hopefully by the end of March, we'll have a report back and see whether our staffing model is where it should be, or we should rotate some of our hours around. As you know, we have 4 stations. The one closest to here is the one in Hampton. And then we have one in Highbridge, Lebanon Borough, and then the main one in the town of Clinton. We normally have 3 crews on up till 10 o'clock at night. And then after 10 o'clock at night, there's 2. But we're fortunate enough to have a lot of volunteers where, like Tom said, 78, you get an accident with 6, 7, 8 people in it. We can normally get 3, 4 rigs out at night, right? We can't get them all out, but that's just the reality of the volunteer system, with paid. So one of the things that we're pretty proud of is last year, or for many years now, we haven't dropped an initial call. So we haven't lost a first or second call in several years. Like our first 2 calls are always staffed. Very few during the middle of the night. Last year, out of 4,340 calls, we only lost 15 calls that we weren't able to crew up for. And either that was, Pattenberg or somebody else was able to answer that was close to us. And there's 5 other times where we were out of ambulances and we had to have somebody come and cover our station, our primary area. And usually we call on Tom to do that, and then they backfill their station. So we're pretty proud of that. So out of all of our calls, all of our third calls through 8, 9, which you'll see on there, only dropped that little bit. We answered 99.5% of those simultaneous calls. So we're pretty fortunate that way. We took on 20 new people last year. We currently have 8 people in the EMT class. As you know, from the previous years, we teach the county EMT training program. And normally the spring class has about 18 people in it. And we have 36 this year. So we had actually put on a second class because one class is 24 and the other's one's 12, and that'll start in another week. And then we also have a daytime class that will have a half a dozen or so people in. So it's great. And it's a lot of volunteers. So it's really great to see that the volunteers, to me, in Hunterdon County is picking up with the amount of people that are coming in.
Are they mostly then gonna be distributed through Northern County, or that's for the?
Yeah, so like I said, we had out of 36, we have 8. White House has 8, Flemington has a handful, and then, there's 2 or 3 for each other squad in the county. There are some people from out of county that take it. But it's mostly in county and in county fire. The county changed the way they're paying for the EMT program now, like it was only for EMS, squads only. And they changed it to be similar to, like, they pay for all the firefighter 1 and firefighter 2 programs. So fire companies are like, hey, how come we can't send our folks to EMT and the county pay for it? And they're like, yeah, you're right. So now they changed that, and that started in the fall class of 25. So it's working out well. And obviously with this year, the spring class, it was really crazy, the amount of interest. And then the summer class, we run 1 during a day, which is mostly college kids and retired folks. So that'll usually fill up in about 2 weeks, and that'll be 24 people again. So, is that good? Any questions? Paul, I already signed your thing.
I just have a question on the volunteers, and I'm glad to see
Sure.
it's ticking up, because I know it's been a real point of pain over the last few years. How many do you think actually stick with it after training, or do people tend to,
Yes.
attrition out?
No, well, EMS especially, and I'm not so sure about the fire service, but for us and Tom, like, we train people up and then they're gone.
Right,
EMS is a stepping stone. A lot of folks take it, they go into the paid fire service. But we're pretty fortunate that we usually get 5 or 6 years out of one of our volunteers.
yeah,
Not so much the cadet, the 14 or 16, 18-year-olds. A lot of them do it for like high school hours, which we're getting away from because that's not what it's for. It's a lot of, in the class is $2,500 a student. So it's not cheap by any stretch.
yeah,
But they got to be focused on it, and then they have a lot going on in school.
yeah.
So,
No, let's hope that doesn't happen.
yeah, hopefully the trend keeps going. I think it's great.
Yep,
You know,
thank you.
sure.
You, happy birthday.
Oh, thanks, Paul. Yeah. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Can't get away.
You're the only one who's saying it.
Listen, I think I'm old, I'm probably the same age, but I'm older than you.
Older than him.
Catching up.
Well,
Oh, I saw.
thank you, it never seems sincere enough, but, to say thank you to you, but, for what you do all year long, and we try to thank you after major incidents, that's when we notice the most, but, on those small calls and going homes and, when it's one single individual is one of the rescue squads or checking for gas leak that thankfully turns into nothing, you guys are going out at, 1 and 2 in the morning to the fire company, so thank you for, all that work. Two things, we try to find ways to help, and I think others do too, so it's helpful. I don't know if you've seen, and I can't guarantee it'll come to fruition, but just sharing it. Hunterdon County in the past few years has been generous to the county. We've taken advantage of it for our park and for our public safety last year, the public safety grant for police and non-police agents, non-police towns were able to do some other traffic mitigation that we afforded. This year, the focus is fire and rescue, so please, I'll share as soon as I know as well, but the county's looking to put $500,000 into their budget to spread through the agencies, and I know it's 500,000 actually is not a lot for what you need, but
Right.
But I wanted to make you aware of it, and if you didn't already. The other thing too is, every year you come here, we've talked about this in the past, we'll of course this year, when we own the budget, we'll talk about what we can do, and then we're all faced with a lot of challenges financially and increases. But we're also trying to find ways that we can encourage volunteers. So, I've talked to our committee about this a little bit, and there's a lot of details we're gonna try to hash out through our budget season, we'll talk to our administrator and our attorney. I think we're the first town that's going to try to approach this in New Jersey. Is we want to offer any Bethlehem Township resident, you have to be the homeowner, your name has to be on the deed, a tax discount on the municipal portion of your bill. So we're gonna try to limit, I spoke to a couple, and I'd love to talk to more about your programs, how we can report this, but we're thinking about linking it to, I know some have LoSAP and some don't, but whatever the basic LoSAP requirement may be, the equivalent of that response would be a basic deduction, likely starting, at $500, which is not a lot, but a start. And then based on call response and maybe time of service, because we want to encourage people to stay and we want people to respond and be on calls, increase that up to $1,500 or $2,000 out of their municipal portion of their budget, each year. And we'll see what we can do based on the impact, because we don't know how many residents are actually out there. But we are going to, I'm sure we're the first in Hunterdon, maybe one of the first in the state, but we're gonna work on that for the budget. We're committed to do that. So we'll announce that when the tax bills will be coming out. We'll figure out the mechanism of that as well. We can do a straight discount, or if it's a rebate program, I'm hoping to treat it as a discount off the bill somehow.
That's appreciated.
So that's our first step, and so we'll be working on that over the next few months, but I wanted to announce it here with you here, so something that we can try to do.
Yeah, that would be quite a part. That'd be very helpful. I think one of the things that we struggle with is getting Bethlehem Township residents to volunteer for our agencies, and a big part of that is, if you look on the side of our apparatus, now one of them says Bethlehem Township. Now Bethlehem Township is somewhere in the back as a thank you, but it's not right on the door. So people, they think of where they live, they're necessarily associated with the fire companies that support them. And anything you can do to highlight the fact that the seven of us, our volunteer agencies, do serve Bethlehem Township, and to connect the township with our agencies would be very helpful. So that'd be a good.
We're hoping that's part of this as well. People realize that, oh, if I get a tax discount, where do I go to do that? And then we can help direct in a better manner rather than, every year. And you'll see, I'll share in the next few days as well, like, that you were all here at the meeting and encouraging our residents to volunteer. But again, we do understand that there's always a little bit of a disconnect since, the Bethlehem Township name isn't on the door. But hopefully with this, they're a little bit more aware and hopefully incentivized and something that you can share too during recruitment. That if they happen to be residents here, that this is something that would be optional, or available.
That's a great idea. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, committee.
Thank you.
Thank you. We got a point of contact with both them, in case we need to work, move this.
Actually, I did start, Rob, is it okay if I start with you for fire companies and for questions and
Yes, sir.
everything else, and then just doing respect with all the chiefs, but Rob, you stepped up as the initial spokesperson. It's okay to continue to reach out to you to initiate.
Just to be clear, they stepped back when I was left-handed.
So that's what happened here on January 6th too. And rescue, I know how to easily connect with both of those. But the same thing, communication, I'm here all the time. I think all of you, I know there's some new leadership. So for the newer chiefs, my number is on the website. That's my personal cell phone. I used to carry two phones and it was just a pain. That's my number. And my wife knows, just like you guys do, I get less calls when my phone is on, right next to my pillow essentially. And so, 24 hours a day. So if there's any questions, calls, anything, I'm here. I think all of us are here for you in that same manner, but I'm here for all those questions and concerns, anything you need to bring up. It's the conversation, as I say, always starts with this meeting. And it's not meant to end, it's meant to start, so we can continue to work throughout the year. Appreciate it. Well, thank you very much. You two are welcome to stay for all the meeting, but like Mr. Decker, I know you may wander out. There's no business, old business, there's a couple items of new business. The first is the determination of April 25th, 2026, as our townwide cleanup day, and authorizing a request for the vending of holidays from the zone. I think that discussion.
I make a motion for that discussion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Anything, any objection to April 25th for cleanup day?
No.
That's initial for,
I just have two questions. We're doing, electronic recycling again this year.
yes,
This one, I think Jeff got a vendor, and number two is I gotta get trees. I will be doing the trees.
you'll be doing trees?
Yeah.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Do you have Steve's contact for James? You have your own contact or?
I did last year.
Yeah, as you did.
Last year, they had paired, I know, something about the seedlings, last year, they had a change in leadership
Yeah,
and down at.
You're supposed to be ready.
Yeah, and then there was only a couple of varieties available to let the seedlings grow.
What's the time usually?
Usually, I don't wanna make an official announcement until I clear it with Jeff, I think it was 7:30 to 2 or something like that. Last year, the weather was really bad,
Yes.
it was horrible, and we did not have as much as usual.
Yeah.
Cause I was up here for
April 25th is not a conflict with fishing season. What's the first day of fishing?
it, it's usually early.
I think it's earlier, I think it's, I was it the 9th or 16th this year.
Yeah,
Good point. Especially if when the fire company is doing, fishing.
and for some reason, why do I think it's like usually one of the first weeks in April?
New Jersey trout season Saturday, April 11th, 8 AM. No, sort of there. I know where I can find you, that,
No.
Have you seen them ice fishing?
No, I heard, I've seen.
Yeah, over 173, right over by where, Bloomsbury is, there's a bunch of people ice fishing. Yeah,
Guys like my size, we don't always trust them, so.
this year, you could be okay.
It's been cool. Alright, so motion to close discussion.
Make a motion to close?
Thing of day. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve April 25th, 2026 as townwide cleanup day and authorizing request for vendor proposals.
I make a motion to approve.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Next, I'm gonna add, this discussion based on, mail that I received today to try to streamline the process. So the next is a discussion request for $1,000 from Iron Headwaters. And I also received a letter, well, Tuesday, but I'm opened it today from Hunter and Land Trust for $500. So put those together as discussion items. So a motion open for that discussion.
I make a motion to open that discussion.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
These are our usual, we did $1,000 last year for Iron, or we did
I thought
500.
we did 500. Yeah.
So they asked for 1,000 this year. We did 500 last year, or last year we did 500. What's gonna happen after this year?
Behind. Well, how much of Bethlehem Township is in there?
Right,
In the rare.
I don't know when it was the last meeting.
So strong.
Yeah.
So it's really small portion, touches on that.
Portion. But they do the Muscanac River cleanup in April. That is, their group as well, maybe Muscanac on. Works with them, but Raritan puts it as their regular, or their cleanup.
Okay.
If we want to keep it 500, if that's what we found. Yeah. I think Muscanac I usually ask for 5, so it kind of keeps it consistent.
Keep it consistent.
Yeah. Okay, I want to close discussion.
Make a motion to close.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
I have a motion to complete donation requests for Iron Headwaters for $500, and Hunter and Land Trust for $500.
I make a motion to approve those amounts.
That was second,
We'll second this.
and roll call vote.
White,
Yes.
Patton,
Yeah.
Lindsay,
Yes.
Nelson, yes, here.
Yes.
Thank you.
Report of municipal zoning official was emailed, report of Department of Public Works was emailed. You'd like to share?
Well, they've been mainly plowing this year, and then, of course, after they were plowing, the trucks are doing the real heating this year. But a lot of parts that we've had to pay, you see a lot of that on the bills list. Tires going, hydraulics going, all sorts of things, so they've been doing a lot of, maintenance on the trucks. They've been doing out road checking, as we had said, they've been banking the snow, they've been cleaning the basins off. A couple of trees have come down during these storms, some big branches, and just making sure we're ready for the next one this year.
Yeah. Hoping,
And that's about,
supposed to 2 to 4 more storms. Okay. Oh, yeah, a lot of storms. And thank you to our public works, they do an excellent job and continue to, they said there's a lot of maintenance behind the scenes to get ready. Hosting your previous storms, it's a lot of
and this,
news.
and the last storm was, they were away from their families 36 hours. I mean, that was a toll.
Yeah. One of our, DPW, members shared that he pays someone else to plow his driveway. Because by the time he gets to it after, it's too difficult to get through, well, especially with this storm, you wouldn't be able to do it in one
Yeah.
push anyways. That's just kind of the thought process though, recommend.
It's supposed to be much more, so, so Russell.
Report of tax collector is emailed, with our last, dual report, who's, our previous animal control officer, who's serving for 2 weeks out of January, and our new animal control official, took over. The report of environmental commission was emailed. That brings us to report of township attorney.
I have no report this year.
Very good, thank you. Report of personal effective support coordinator, Ms. Nelson.
Where do I start?
And Mr. Clay, actually, I should share, Well, oftentimes you'll hear me call these reports and there's a primary and an alternate, and Mr. Clegg jumped into the work extremely quickly, and I'd say it's been a very solid pairing, especially.
I think you came up with that whole package.
Say, I couldn't do this without Judy, so.
If you want to keep it, Jeff, be my guest. It has to do with the complete. I think I said this at the last meeting. We had met, Jen, myself and Jeff with our IT. I had said last year was very challenging up here with various issues and connectivity and all that type of stuff. And I know this isn't, a lot of the stuff isn't visible to the public. This is a lot of the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, but it's important. So we went through probably about 20 different quotes of what could be done, all the way from should we do Starlink to all sorts of routers and repeaters. Also, I'm not gonna get into it, but Jeff, I'll let you kind of sum up where we're at right now with our priorities.
So right now, our priority is to stabilize the system, in here, in the rooms, and over at DPW. So the first priority is to get a Ethernet cable run to the DPW building, so we can have them on Ethernet and have their own setup there that will be solid, rather than piggybacking on our wireless or some other thing. It also looks like there might be some cost savings we can get into, with some of the other things going on in that building that we're working on. We're also looking at, updating the security with, because right now everything's going into the cloud, so we've got to upgrade the security. That's very minor. We've got to upgrade to Microsoft 365.
Well, we just need to make sure all the,
Everything's up there.
all of the equipment can support all of Windows 11.
Yeah. That was a duplicate, just something else that we wanted on. We have been recording some things because I think things can be done simpler and cheaper. So I'm gonna be going through, crawling around, and roll out the desks, seeing how we can get people an extra monitor or something like that. That, you know, you don't need to spend this ridiculous amount of money that they're quoting on a lot of these things. So looking to try to save money that way. So we'll be doing some tests next week, it looks like, and just crawling around and see what we can do. Remember, something else like that, and really was fairly important.
We're on the phone system.
The phone system, yes, basically they want us to get rid of all our phones, and that's not happening. So, you know, we're working with them on that as well. You know, how do we utilize the existing phone system and make everything work? So again, it's about, you know, we want to stabilize the system, we want to make it solid. We don't want to kill it, though. We don't want to overspend and, you know, be prudent with our tax dollars here. Anything else I missed?
No, that sums up all of our conversations and meetings.
Yeah.
Given your expert opinions, and this is your wheelhouse, this kind of stuff. Is it doable, like, is this just putting a patch on a page sort of thing, where it's gonna crash a year, or just something
No.
you can make it pretty solid? And make it
No.
last?
No, I mean, it should be, the phone system should be solid. Moving everything into the cloud should be solid. That, you know, that, when I saw that server, I was like, oh my God, that thing's dead.
And
it got weak. So that's a big thing. Getting the hard wire over to the DPW building is just gonna make that simpler. And then we also have plans in there with, you know, again, that building is important. People who, you know, when we have problems, power outages, people wanna work. You gotta get them Wi-Fi connectivity. It's also important, you know, when our DPW teams are out here, they're spending 36 hours a year to give them a break. So they can see what's going on and have connectivity.
it included like getting some entertainment over into the community center. Those are some of the nice to haves that we would like to do and building workstations.
Actually throwing TV on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually.
There is a TV, yeah.
Now watching a 35-year-old DVD player that
Yeah,
There's movies over there.
DVD player doesn't work.
there's, you know, again, there's stuff, you know, again, there's. Make it. solid.
Yeah, we wanna get it
It's gotta
started.
be solid. I mean, we've got a Wi-Fi router that's on the other side of that wall that's pointing up to the ceiling. Is there any question why you don't get Wi-Fi in here, that's pointing up to the ceiling?
We're gonna get some repeaters in and stuff.
There's things that can be done.
Anyway,
Fix, I
So
mean,
my question is, we paid a company to do this and they were doing that, why is it taking the committee really saying the company, pardon my language, they're doing it right? Did they put the router in?
no, that router's been there forever.
Alright, so I just wanna make sure.
it's on a little shelf, it's pointing up.
It's kind of been replaced once, I think, but I thought it was a Comcast router, but, Mayor Grafe and Deputy Mayor Glazer put that up, years ago. I don't know, that was, yeah. I remember I walked in and Mayor Grafe was on a ladder with the roof, and then he was a little shorter, he didn't get the ceiling tile back right, so I had to come fix the ceiling tile for him. But it's apparently not installed correctly, and I was trying to work a portion of my day from here, didn't have service, as you don't now. And this is a courtroom as well, we have 4 municipalities, soon to be 5, and the judge is unable to connect with certain points. So it needs to address. And, but we don't want to go crazy too, that other share, I mean, it did work fairly well, there's just more fans on it now.
Here's the quote.
Yeah.
The router in the ceiling is only about 1 year old, Paul.
The router, I know it was replaced once, but today was the first time that I personally had a problem with it. I was using my hotspot for my phone. Usually I've been working up here a little bit more frequently, and, but today I had neither one of the court or the main municipal building would connect.
Yeah, that's relatively new. It's only about 1 year old. I put it in with Jeff Selp, from DPW.
Okay.
Should be working.
I was too up in the ceiling tile then.
If you want me to come by and take a look and see if I can go into it and see if there's some sort of problem, I'd be happy to do it.
Well, no, I appreciate that you did that last year, but it's part of the service that we're paying for at this point, so I think we should let our IT figure that out since that's their responsibility.
Yeah, I appreciate.
Whatever you need, just let me know.
If we muck around with it ourselves, then they can say, well, you broke it, you did this, you did that, so I would rather just let them do it. Thank you though.
No problem.
Report of Roads Commissioner, myself,
Nothing further.
Report of Joint Professional Service Coordinator, myself, nothing to add this evening. Report of Highlands Council Coordinator, Ms. Nelson.
Yeah, so, let's see, no, I think you were on this, Paul. I don't know if you got this either, Bridget. There's a training, Thursday, March 12th. It's regarding Highlands Council is pleased to announce the availability of a Highlands Municipal Exemption Determination Certification Program.
What?
I wasn't sure that.
Is that the existing?
Certification through this program allows municipalities to issue determinations for some of the most commonly sought Highlands Act exemptions.
Richard Decker does, he went through the training and does
Okay.
that for us.
Okay,
But I think you have to be, I could be wrong, if you wanna go, but I don't know.
I
if
wanted to just, have a quick discussion about it, I wasn't sure.
The zoning officer, our current zoning officer, I think, has that qualification also, but we usually let Mr. Decker do. Yeah, but I think you have to be a zoning officer or an engineer to be able to grant them, but you can go to the class after that.
Yeah, well, I don't have to go to training now, I'm fine.
Yeah, we're pretty,
It came to me, so I was just curious as to why it was kind of.
no, it is a good program, I don't know, but they've had it for 8 years about now.
Okay.
It allows, like, so when people come in for their permits, like.
We can, and I know that Tom did that, but I wasn't sure if this was something that they wanted a committee member or somebody to be a member.
I think you have to have a designation to issue.
Then I'm good.
Report of governing body members, Mr. Flynn. I think your report. Mr. Cobb, no report. Mr. Lindsay.
Just a quick follow-up, we had that nice little snowstorm. Okay, the power outages didn't come before, or during, I should say, they came before the snowstorm. That's because somebody took out the pole, but, DPW did a great job getting the roads opened up and everything else, I think, you did, well, I can, you all did pretty good keeping on top of everything, and, other than that, I did reach out to Mr. Haggerty from the group home. We are set to have a phone conversation tomorrow,
Excellent.
talking about some stuff, so hopefully the next meeting I'll have some maybe updates that we haven't had in a while, and we'll go from there.
Okay, sounds good. If you do have something that was updated, you could That Mr. Spencer knows, put it as like an official, we'll put it as an agenda item rather than your.
That's fine. That's fine.
Perfect, thank you. Ms. Nelson,
Nothing further.
Ms. Zoning, Township Administrator report.
Just a couple things, one, touched on about the server, so. Imazonti is still trying to recover all of our, get our data from the server that crashed. So our last good backup was December 18th, so anything from December 18th to January 7th, when it crashed, is gone, so we are trying to recreate that, I think we're doing okay. Some things are up on the cloud, but they're hoping by the end of the weekend, they'll have, all that data from the hard drive. That they'll then be able to give everybody their files of what they've been able to restore. So hopefully we'll have that back. And then, so the switch here, Jeff had Lou look at the switch for these lights that are getting hot. So he actually had Jaycon, come out. So they looked at that. And while he was looking at that, we asked him to look at the heater in the front in the foyer that's not working, so he's gonna look into that and, whatever he has to do. We didn't realize it was brought up, for court. We have a sheriff's officer who sits out here in the foyer for the whole court session, and he's freezing. And it just was, we didn't realize how cold it was and how cold it just wasn't really registering to us, so, that will be looked at, and hopefully fixed, and we will now have court, or heat in the foyer, so it won't be, so cold. So, and then yet again, animal licensing, we're making progress, slowly making progress.
I heard today.
Well, I did send him an email and he didn't get back to me, so that we do have the payment portion
Ready?
is not ready, but all the paperwork's been signed and all everything is linked up to the bank account for the deposits to be made and whatnot, so I don't know where it's at with the program itself, but.
I've got 10 pets, ready to go.
Hi. So
Judy's first.
I wanna be the first. I wanna be the guinea pig and test it.
So hopefully I'll have an answer from him tomorrow.
Hopefully it doesn't take $1,000 out of my bank account.
Oh, so you're going first.
Exactly.
It's all used for errands.
You've got like 25 accounts, so.
You're the hippo though.
That's right, you're gonna over your.
Bottoms for Christmas.
I have a question. Is there some sort of provision for people who want to use the electronic system to not get this done until the end of February? Because some people on Facebook seem to believe that they had heard this.
We're not charging late fees till, right now, February 27th. If there's any further delays, we'll look at it again, but there are, so if you register in February, there are no late fees.
There should probably be some official statement on exactly what the story is there, and I'll get it out to everyone.
Lou, if you want, I did share on my social media and then on the community page with a graphic. I can send you the graphic, or if you want to just pull it off my page.
I'll find it.
Okay, I put the date on it and it's.
All right, I'll find it, Paul. No problem.
Yeah, and Monica did put, as a message on her, phone for her voicemail and her email.
Yeah, Lou, we might ask you to add to it, so I'm gonna share the thing as you shared tonight, and I'll put out another message. Because of the server going down, and we still can't enter information, we could enter information, but we ended up doing it twice. We're not going to, anybody who's mailed in their dog or cat license already or dropped it off, we're not gonna process, probably until mid-February or the end of February, so you won't see that license come back to you till the end of February either, so that people aren't entering into the system twice.
All right, I got it.
Monica is working, opening the mail, just making sure everyone's ratings are current, so if there is a deficiency, she will be reaching out, but if you don't hear from her, she will be working as soon as we get the program up.
Report of Mayor, I don't have anything else to add this evening. The motion open for public comment?
Motion open for public comment?
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
So,
I got my license back yesterday.
It was in January.
yeah.
If you sent it in early, she was still processing it in the old system.
So you're saying she might have to,
She's gonna have to redo it.
Oh, well.
Yeah, yours will be migrated over.
And public comment?
Make a motion to close.
Second one. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
We know executive session, you have a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.